Yes, hello, grade 11s. Good morning. How are you today? My name is Patrick Kamala. I am a tutor and educator for mathematics and physical sciences, grade 11. Okay. Now today I want us to look at a term 3 scope, that is to do with today's test. Today is the 15th of September 2022. So we have got extra classes here at Rosteke College on 92 Schoeman here in Pulukwani. So if you find the video interesting, you can join us. However, I wish you the best in your exam today. Let us start with this question here. It's the algebra. They say solve for x, that is 3x plus 2, and then x minus 5 equals to 0. Okay, so because I have got 0 here, it means I'm going to use what we call as the zero product rule. So it means either 3x plus 2 equals to 0 or x minus 5 equals to 0, which gives me 3x plus 2 equals 0, which gives what? 3x equals to negative 2. So if I divide by 3, I'm going to get my x as what? As negative 2 over 3. Or I'm going to get my x as 5. Okay, maybe you can see what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is this one here. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. So what I'm saying is this one here. If I'm going to say 3x, I'm going to say 3x plus 2 equals to 0. Okay. Or I'm going to say x minus 5 equals to 0 to get my answers like this. Okay, so this is what I was talking about here. So as you can see, this is 3x plus 2 equals to 0. 3x equals to negative 2 divided by 3 gives me x equals to minus 2 over 3. And then x minus 5 equals to 0 gives me x equals to 5. Maybe you can say, what if this was not 0? Then I don't do like this. What do? I have to open brackets and bring that number, if it is 6 or 9, this side of the equation. Then I form the quadratic equation, which looks like this one here. Then I either factorize or use the quadratic formula. Okay, let us proceed. Hope we are together. Next, they say here that solve, and your answer must be to two decimal places. So I have 3x squared minus 5x minus 1 equals to 0. So in this case, because they say my answer must be to two decimal places, it means that this one does not factorize. So it means I'm going to use the general form of what? Of the quadratic formula, the standard form, to get my answer. So if you check here, what is my a? My a is going to be 3. Okay. What about my b? It's going to be negative 5. What about my c? It's going to be negative 1. So if I use the formula which says that x equals to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac under squared divided by what? By 2a, then I can solve this equation. Okay, let us check what happens in this case. Okay, so in that case, this is what happens here. This is what happens here. Okay, so what I do here, like we have said, my a is what? Is 3, and my b is what? My b is negative 5. Okay, sorry, my a is 3. Okay, my a is 3, and then my b is negative 5. Okay, so after that, then I have the formula which says that x equals to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. That's what I use here. That's what I use here. Okay. Now after that, then I substitute. Where there is b, I put what? Negative 5. Where there is a, I put 3. And where there is c, I put negative 1. Okay, which gives me something like this. Let's zoom it and you see. So if you check here now, you can see that what I have my A at 3, B negative 5, C negative 1. So if I put in this formula, which is the quadratic formula, I get x equals to minus 5 plus minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So now listen carefully here. What we do here, you punch in everything here on the calculator as you see it here. Don't do it in steps to avoid confusion, okay? And if you use a positive, your answer is going to be like this. Your answer is going to be x equals to 1,85. And then if you use a negative, a minus, it's going to be x equals to negative 0,18. Hope we are together. So that's how we solve this quadratic equation. Okay, now we have another question here. It says x equals to 4 minus square root of x minus 2. So what we do here, actually, before we proceed, this square root is one term, so it must appear on one side of the equation, whereby you see it is minus. I'm going to bring it this side to make it positive, and then the x becomes a minus. So I'm going to have square root x minus 2 equals to 4 minus x, and then because I'm going to be having square root, I'm going to square both sides, and then I proceed to get my quadratic equation, and then I solve as I did here, all here. Okay, let us check it out then also. Let's check it out. So in that case, if I check it out here, what do I have? Oh yeah, it is this side. So it is here. Write it out already for you. So like I said, I take the x minus 2 this side of the equation, then the x minus x this side of the equation. That's why I have something like this now. I have here. So you see this is x minus 2 under square root equals to 4 minus x. So what I do to move the square root, I square both sides. Thereby the 2 is going to cancel with the root sign, and then the square is going to square all these ones here. So what happens here is that this 2 cancels with the square root sign here. Okay, I'm left with x minus 2. What about here? Now to expand this, you have got two methods. You can use the one for grade 10 or grade 11. Grade 11, what we do, we square the 4, which gives us 6 here. Then multiply 2 times 4 times negative x, which gives me minus 8x, and then plus negative x squared, which gives me what? Positive x squared. So this is 16 minus 8x plus x squared. Okay, hope we are together. And then from there, this is the outcome, right? This is the outcome here. So after getting this, and this one here, what I do next, I do what? I collect like terms. You see this is x, this is minus 8x. So this minus 2. Okay, so if I bring minus 2 this side, becomes positive 2. If I bring positive x, becomes minus x. So in other words, I have got x squared minus 8x minus x plus 16 plus 2, which gives me x squared. This is minus 8 minus 1 gives minus 9x. Then 16 plus 2 gives me 18. Okay, so if you check this, guys, I can actually factorize this equation, because two numbers multiply get 18. When you add get negative 9, they are negative 3 and negative 6. So it means either x minus 3 is 0, which gives me x equals to 3, or x minus 6 is 0, which gives me x equals to 6. So that's how I solve that equation for the sides. Okay, these are my answers here. I hope we are together, guys. Let us proceed. Next question here says that 2x squared plus 5x less or equals to 3. This is an inequality. Now usually we have to first get the critical values before we proceed. In other words, bring the 3 this side. It's going to be 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 less or equals to 0. Okay, less or equals to what? To 0. And then we equate to 0 to solve for the critical values. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Yeah, it is probably this side here. So this is what happens here. This is what happens here. So in this particular case, what do I do? What I do is like this. I have to get my critical values first, like I said. So I bring the positive 3 left, it becomes negative 3. It's going to be 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 less or equals to 0. So if I first equate to 0 to get my critical values, I do by factorizing here, because this is a 2. 2 times negative 3 gives me negative 6. So I look for two numbers, multiply, get negative 6, but when you add, get the middle term, which is positive 5. So that is negative 1 and positive 6, because negative 1 times 6 I get negative 6, and negative 1 plus 6 I get positive 5. So it means instead of having 5x, I'm going to have minus 1x plus 6x minus 3 equals to 0. So if you check here now, I can see that x is common here and here, so I can factor it out. 12x into 2x minus 1, then plus what? What about here? What is common here? It is 3 into 2x minus 1 equals to 0. So again, if I check properly, I think you can also see this, that in this case, my 2x minus 1 is common. You see it is common here, also common here. So what do? I factor it outside the brackets. So when I take it outside the brackets, as you see it here, I'm left with this x, which x is going to be here in the brackets, then plus 3. So I get my factors like this after factorizing. So again, because this is 0, like in the question 1, it means that either 2x minus 1 equals to 0, which gives me x equals to a half, or x plus 3 is 0, which gives me x equals to negative 3. Now, I don't stop here because it's an inequality here. I use my critical values. I'm going to use negative 3 and positive a half. Which of the two is smaller? It's negative 3. So what do? Actually, I use the x-axis here like this. Okay. Then I put my critical values. And because this is positive 2x squared, I mean the coefficient, it means the shape of my parabola is going to be like this. Okay, like this. So it means I'm going to sketch my parabola here. And when I do so, okay, then where the parabola meets the x-axis, that's where we have the critical values. Okay, so because this is the first x-intercept here, and this is the second x-intercept here, it means that in this particular case, my smallest critical value was negative 3, so this negative 3 here. Okay, and then this is a half here. Okay, so what does the question want anyway? I was solving, the question was saying that 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 is less or equals to 0. So because it is less or equal to 0, and I know that at the x-axis, the y equals to 0 here at the x-axis, y equals to 0. Now if I move above the x-axis, this side here, it means y greater than 0. It means what? This is y bigger than 0. Okay. And then if I go below the x-axis, it means y less than 0. Okay. So because the question was saying less or equals to 0, it means I am interested in the x values from negative 3 up to positive a half. In other words, my answer is going to be like it's going to be from negative 3, okay, from negative 3 less or equals to x, because I'm solving for x values, okay, then less or equals to what? To a half. Okay, so This is my answer for that question. Hope we are together. Let us proceed. Let us proceed. Next question was saying that simplify the following without using a calculator. Now this is 8 over 27 power 2 over 3, but we know that 8 is the same as 2 power 3. What about 27? The same as 3 power 3. So it means I can write it like this. I'm going to say that this is 2 power 3 over 3 power 3. Okay, so now because it's the same power, which is 3, it means I can actually say 2 over 3, everything to the power 3. Now that new power times the 2 over 3 which was there, you can see that this 3 is going to cancel with what? With this 3 here. So I'm left with the 2 squared divided by 3 squared, and what is 2 squared, guys? 2 squared is 4, 2 squared is 9, so my answer is going to be 4 over 9. That's my answer here. Hope we are together. Okay, let's proceed. I said here, simplify again without a calc, that is root 12 plus 2 into root 3 minus 1. So 12 is the same as 4 times 3, but under square root. So I'm going to write it as 4 times 3. Okay, and when I do so, and this is plus 2 into root 3 minus 1, but this one I can split it as square root of 4 times root 3, but 4 has got a square root which is 2, so I can say it's going to be 2 times root 3 plus 2. That's what you see here, guys. That's what you see here. And then into root 3 minus 1, that's what you see here. Now if you check properly, there is a 2 here and a 2 here, which means I can factor it out. That's what I do here exactly. I take out a 2. I'm now left with root 3 plus 1. That's why it's plus 1 here. Don't forget the root 3 minus 1 is this side as well. So now if you are well observant, you can see that from here up to here it's a difference of 2 squares. So because it's root 3 and root 3, this is plus 1 then minus 1. So I'm going to say it's going to be 2, open big brackets, root 3 squared then minus 1 squared. But what's root 3 squared? Is 3, because the root cancels with what? With the square. So 3 minus 1 is going to give me 2, and 2 times 2 gives me 4. That's why my answer is going to be 4. I hope we are still together. Then lastly but not least, it is this simultaneous here. Simultaneous here. It's a sort of for x and y. Now here I want you to be very observant. I'm solving for x and y. So what do I do here exactly? Listen carefully. Now look out for the equation which is linear. Like if this is linear, there are no squares. And then this other equation with the squares, first forget about it. Then you come to the equation which is linear, and either make x or y the subject of the formula. So in this case, as you can see, guys, you see that I can actually do what? I can bring the x this side to become positive x, and then the 2 become negative 2. So I can actually have 5y, 5y minus what? Minus 2 equals to x, right? Equals to x. So if my x equals to 5y minus 2, what I do now, I also check in the other equation and I look wherever there is x. Okay, so if you check here, my x is here, right? And then my x is also here, this one here. So for that matter, I'm going to rewrite this equation, but wherever I have x, I'm going to put something else. I'm going to put 5y minus what? I'm going to put 5y minus 2, because that is x. So I'm going to say 5y minus 2 bracket squared minus 3y into 5y minus 2 then plus 4y equals to 4, and then I continue solving the equation because it's going to be containing only y values, y variable. Okay, so that's what I do exactly down here. Let's check it out. Now if I do so, I can see that like we said, x equals to what? X equals to 5y minus 2. Okay, x is 5y minus 2, and then where there is x squared, I'm putting 5y minus 2 bracket squared, then minus 3y into 5y minus 2 plus 4y equals to 4. Are we together? Equals to 4. So what I do next now, I collect like terms. Like I said, this is 5y bracket squared minus 3y into 5y minus 2 plus 4y minus 4 equals to 0. So now if I expand this, I'm going to get actually 25y squared minus, listen carefully here, minus 2 times 5y times negative 2, which gives me negative 20y. Then if I square negative 2, I get positive 4. Then negative 3y times 5y gives me minus 15y squared. And then minus 3y times minus 2 gives me what? Positive 6y. Then plus 4y minus 4 equals to 0. Okay, equals to 0. Let's decide here. Then after that, I collect like terms. This is 25y squared minus 15y squared, which gives me 10y squared. Then minus 20y plus 6y plus 4. So what is minus 20 plus 10? It's going to be minus 10y. So this 4 cancels out with what? It cancels out with the minus 4, because you see I've got minus 4 here, so it cancels out. So I'm going to have 10y squared minus 10y equals to 0, right? Equals to 0. So what is common here, guys? It is 10y. I factor it out, left with the y minus 1 equals to 0. So it means either 10y equals to 0, which gives y equals to 0, or y minus 1 equals 0, which gives y equals to 1. Are we together? After getting my y as 0, I'm not so forgetful. I remember I said that x was equal to 5y minus 2, so whatever there is y, I'm going to put 0, which gives me actually, what is 5 times 0? 0. 0 minus 2, minus 2. So my x is going to be what? My x is going to be negative 2. I think you see that. X is what? X is negative 2y, because 0 minus 2 gives me negative 2. Okay, now this negative 2 came from the y, which was equal to what? Which was equal to 0. So that's why I'm going to take the other pair as well, whereby y was equal to 1. So when I come here again, I'm going to substitute again. So in this case, because I know the x equals to 5y minus 2, I'm going to put what here, guys? I'm going to put 1. So what is 5 times 1? That is 5. 5 minus 2, I get 3. So my other x is what? My other x is what? It's 3. So it means x equals to 3. X equals to 3. When y equals to what? When y equals to 1. Okay, so this is how we solve this pair of simultaneous equations. Hope we are together. If you don't understand, please pause the video and watch it again. Okay, let us proceed. So our next page, our next question, it says that we have this question here. It comes like this now. They say that Mr. Brown conducted a survey on the amount of airtime in rents each student had on his or her own cell phone. So he summarized the data in the box and whisker diagram below. Okay, So this is our box and whisker diagram. This is the scale here. Let's write down the 5-number summary of the data. So now I have to first identify the 5-number summary, then I write it down. So to do that, I have to put my 5-number summary. Okay, my 5-number summary by doing this. Okay, so this first part here is the minimum. So if you check here, I'm going to bring my minimum and put it here. Okay, then the first part of the box here, it is the Q1, right? So this Q1 here, that's my Q1 there. Hope we are together. And then this is Q2, that's my Q2 there. That's my Q2. So this is my Q2 here. Okay, and then what about here? This is my Q3. Okay, this is my Q3 here. Hope we are together. Then the biggest one, it is the maximum value, né? That's my maximum here. So in other words, this is my minimum, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. So what do? I get the 5-number summary now. I write down the minimum, the maximum, the Q1, Q2, and the Q3. So if I do so, that's what I get them here. So now I can bring them here. So from here you can see that I have got my maximum and my minimum values as well. So, and then the quartiles. So in other words, my minimum is 12. Okay, what about my maximum? You can see it is 65 here. What about my Q1? It is 17. What about my Q2? It is 30. What about my Q3? It is 38. Okay, now they say after that determine the interquartile range. Now interquartile range is going to be given by the upper quartile minus lower quartile. That means Q3 minus Q1. That's what I do here. That means 38 minus 7, which gives me 21. That's my interquartile range. Hope we are together. And then from there they say that comment on the skewness of the data. Now the skewness, it shows how the data is spread around the Q2, around the median here. So in this case, you see this is this rectangle is bigger than this rectangle here, né? So it means most of the data is this other side. So in other words, our data is skewed to the left. That's our answer. Our data is what? It is skewed to the left. So that's our answer there. Our data is what? Skewed to the left. Okay, so in this case, this is my answer here. The data is what? Skewed to the left. The data is skewed to the left. Okay, and then next they say here that a group of 13 students indicated how long it took in hours before their cell phone batteries required recharging. The information is given in the table below. So some they took 5 hours, 8 hours, 10, 17, 20, 29, 32, 48, 50, 50, 63, y, and then 107. They say calculate the value of y if the mean for this data is 41. So we're looking for this y here, and they gave us the mean. Okay, now we know that this is ungrouped data, né? So mean for ungrouped data is the same as the sum of all the values, okay, and then divided by what? By the number of the values. So these are 13 already. So I'm going to add 5 plus 8 plus 10 plus 17 plus 20 plus 29 plus 32 plus 48 plus 50 plus 50 plus 63 plus y plus this one equals 2 something. Then whatever I get, I divide by 13 because these are 13 students. Okay, so that's what I do here exactly, guys. Okay, so what I do here, if you can check it properly. I 8, because I know that my formula says mean x bar equals to summation x over n. So I add all these numbers like we said. Then because there is y somewhere, because there is this y here, I'm going to have the first answer, but together with y. Now there were 13 students. I'm going to say the mean equals to this number divided by 13, whereby the mean was given to me as 41. So I'm going to multiply 41 by 13 to give me this number, which is 533. Because I'm looking for y, this 439 is going to be subtracted from the 533, which gives me 94. So this is my answer, which is 94 for y. Hope we are together. Let us proceed. They said that that's how y, you see, it is 94. Now they say the mean time before another group of 6 learners needed to recharge their batteries of their cell phones was 18 hours. Combine these groups and they calculate the overall mean time needed for these two groups to recharge their batteries of their cell phones. So now the mean time for all 6 learners is what? It is 18. So what must I do? Combine these groups and calculate the overall mean needed for the two groups to recharge their batteries. So what do I do here? So the overall mean, to get it, now for the second group, I can see that they are 6, but what's their mean? It is 18. Okay, they said the mean time, yes, is 18. So if I use y for that case, it means I'm going to say that the mean, which is y bar, equals summation y divided by n, but the mean was given as 18, equals to summation y over 6. So I can get summation y by multiplying by 6 this side, which gives me 18 times 6 equals to summation y. Okay, and I get 108. Okay, now because I want to combine the two means, it means summation x plus summation y, I'm going to have the sum of the first x plus the sum of this y now. Okay, now this is 108 divided by the total number. The first were 13 in a group and then the 6. So if I proceed, now my summation x was 439 plus 94, I don't know if you remember, and then plus now this one 108, which you see here, divided by 13 plus 6, which is 19. So I get my combined mean as what? As 33,74. I hope we are still together. If we are not together, please, it's fine. You can pause the video and watch it again. Okay. However, let us proceed to the next worksheet. Now this one here, it is they say a student conducted a survey among his friends and their relatives to determine the relationship between the age of a person and the number of marketing phone calls he or she received within 1 month. Okay, within what? Within 1 month. So what happened? The information is given in the table below, and I think you can see the information. There. So we have got the age of person in the survey from 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Now this is called the grouped data. Okay, this is the frequency and then the cumulative frequency. Now, and it was not completely filled in. That's why the question says that complete the frequency and the cumulative frequency columns in the table given in the answer book. So it was like this exactly. So this is how I filled it, guys. Now this is 7. I write it the way it is here. So 7 plus a certain number must give me 27. So this must be 20. And then after getting 27 plus this number 25, I must get an answer here. That's why 27 plus 25 gives me 52, which I put here. Now again, to get 64, I must have 52 plus a certain number must give me 64. So with my calculator, I said 64 minus 5, which is 12. After getting 64, I said 64 plus a certain number must give me 72. So I said 72 minus 64, which gives me 8. After getting 72, there is a 4 here. So 72 plus 4 gives me 76. And then to get 80, I must add a number here. That's why I'm saying 80 minus 70, that is 4 here. So this is how I fill up my frequency and the cumulative frequency columns in this table. Now they say how many people participated in this survey. It is this 80 here. That's our answer. Write the model class. Now the model class is the class which has got the highest frequency. So if you check here, this is 12, this is 25. So now our highest frequency is going to be the one with the giving him. See, you see this one here, ne? Like this one here. So if they say find the model class, ne, you locate the number with the highest frequency, ne? This is 25. So our answer is going to be from 40 less than x less or equal to 50. So this is our answer here. Why? Because it has got the highest frequency. So all the time, please, the model class is the class with the highest frequency. So it means my answer is going to be from 40 less than x less or equals to 50. Let us proceed. Let's say draw an ogive, that is cumulative frequency graph, to represent the data on the grid given in the answer book. So to draw my ogive, what I do, I have to first of all scale down the classes beginning from the previous interval, that is from 10 to 20. Then I give it a 0 frequency. Then I proceed to put my cumulative frequencies on the y-axis and to put the age of the person on the x-axis. So for that matter, I'm going to have something like this. Okay. Now, like I said, that I'm going to put my cumulative frequency on the what? On the y-axis. That's what I do here. Now my cumulative frequency, the biggest number is, as you see, it is 8 here, 8 is 0, and then the smallest is what? Is 7. So I begin from 0, then I go to, this is 0 here. Okay, there's a 0 here, there's a 0 here, there's a 0 here. Now that is 0, I put it here, 0 here. So this is 0, then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, up to the biggest number, which is 80. Then down here on the x-axis, I'm going to start from 0 also. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, 90. Yeah, 90 is the highest. If you check here again, now what is important to know is to know what to plot. So this is what happens. You see, because I'm starting from 0 to 10, it means the 10 is going to go with what? It's going to go, I mean from 10 to 20, it's going to go with this, with a 0. So I put 0 here. In other words, my cumulative frequency begins with a 0. So the 0 here, the 0 here is what starts here on the x-axis. Don't forget, please, if you get the 0 there, you lose some of the marks. So it means when I come to my thingy here, to my graph here, I must go to where there is 10, then I plot it with 0. So that's why I'm gonna put a 0 here. I'm gonna plot that point here. So in other words, I'm going to get my plot. Okay, I'm going to put this point here. So I'm starting from this point here. Okay, so I'm going to be plotting from here. Is it from here? In other words, my 20, the first value here is going to take up the 0. That's why it's 0 here. And then you know what? The 30 is going to take up the first cumulative frequency. Let us check it out. takes out what the first cumulative frequency here, which is 7. So I'm going to plot 30 and 7, meaning 7 on the y-axis and then 30 on the x-axis. So when I come here, if this is 30, this is 7, this is 10, so below 10 is 7 somewhere there, and this is 30 on the edge of the person, so I plot it here. Then the next one, which is 40, 40 is going to go with what? It's going to go with 27. Okay, let's check it out. So 27 on the y-axis, this is 30, so below 27 somewhere here, and then 40 on the x-axis. That's why I plot it here like that. Okay, hope we are together. And then let's check it out again next. Now the 50 is going to go with the 52, meaning 52 on the y-axis, then 50 on the x. So 52 slightly above the 50, that's why it's here, and then that's 52 going with 50 here. That's why I put it like this. Okay, let us proceed. And then the 60 is going to be plotted with the 64 on the y-axis, and then 60 on the x-axis. Okay, so y-axis, we say it's going to be 64. This is 65, so slightly below 65 must be 64, and then 60 on the what? 60 on the x-axis. Okay, so I do the same, also plot the 70, the 80, and 90. So the 90 is going to go with what? With the 80. That's why it's at the end here. So this is 90 on the 90 must go with what? Check. The 90 must go with 80 on the y-axis, 90 on the x. So 80 is the highest cumulative frequency, that's why it is here. And then I'm going to have the 90 here on the x-axis. Okay, now the cumulative frequency curve must be a smooth curve. So what we do, we draw it like this. Okay, draw it like this. So I'm going to connect it now. I'm going to draw it. Let me use which color must I use here? Okay, choose from this color. I think I can use the red color. So I'm gonna start from 0 here, like we said. Start from 0, and then I do my what? My curve. Let me check it here. So it must be a smooth curve. Okay, must be a smooth curve. So you go up like this, go up like that, must pass here, then come and pass here. Okay, then also come and pass here like that, then to come and like this. So you see it's like an S shape. It's like an S shape. Here it was supposed to pass through here. It was just a mistake. Okay, it must pass there. Okay, so now this is our ogive, which is the cumulative frequency curve. Hope we are together. What must we do next? They said that what must we do next? They said determine the percentage of marketing calls received by people older than 54 years. So we go to our ogive and look for 54 as our age. Then we move up to meet our ogive. So this is 50 here. This is the 50 here, 55. So 54 must be just slightly before. 54 must be slightly before the what? The 55. So it means that in this case, if I do so, if I get my line, I get a line here, and then I'll use this one here, which is blue. So above 54, I move up. Okay, I move up here till I meet my ogive somewhere here. Then from there, now I come to this side here to check up the calls. So let me use a different color now. Let me use green. So after meeting this, I come this side here and meet here. So my answer is somewhere here. So you see, this is 55 So I can take 51, 56. So that's my answer there. So if this is 5, 6 here, if this is 5, 6 here, okay, if this is 5, 6 here, what does the question say? Check it again. They say determine the percentage of the marketing calls received by people older than 54 years. So it means they want older than 54. So what we do, we go to the 80 here. We said 80 was maximum name, that is 80 minus 5, 6 divided by 80 times 100, because we want percentage in it. I'm saying we're going to say what? We're going to say that in this case we're going to have 80. Okay, because we wanted above 80. Then minus what? Minus this number, which is 56 here, minus 5, 6. Okay, divided by what? By 80. Then times 100. Which answer do we get here? Anybody with a calculator, please help me out. Times 100, what do we get here? What do we get here? Talk to me. What do I get here? Calculators, take them out. And I have 80 minus what? Minus 5, 6 divided by 80 times 100. So I get 30%, okay? I get what? 30%. I get 30%. So that's my answer. It is 30%. 30%. Okay, hope we are still together. Let us proceed. Let us proceed to the next worksheet. Now here they say that a bag contains 3 red, 5 yellow tennis balls. A player picks a ball at random, observes the color and does not replace it. She then picks a second ball. Draw a tree diagram to represent the above information, showing all possible outcomes. Now, if you don't replace the ball, it means that the sample space decreases, right? So in a bag, I've got 3 red and 5 yellow tennis balls. If you pick one and don't replace, it means what you have picked decreases the sample space. So what is 3 plus 5? Now 3 plus 5 is 8. It is what? It is 8. So it means that I'm going to have my sample space as 3 plus 5, which is 8. So if this is 8 here, it means that in this case, now this is what happens. It means I'm going to choose the first ball, then the second ball. Okay, so if it can happen that I choose to be red. How many red are here? 3. 3 plus 5, 8, which means my answer is going to be what? Probability of picking a red ball as the first ball is going to be 3 over 8. It's going to be what? 3 over 8. So that's why I'm going to put 3 over 8 there. So that is 3 over 8. So because there are 3 red balls and I am picking a red ball at first, okay, so that is 3 over 8. However, it could be like I might have picked a yellow ball, that it's going to be what? 5 over 8. So that's why it's going to be 5 over 8 here. So this is 5 over 8. Okay. Now after picking the ball, I don't replace it, right? So for that matter, if I picked 3, from the 3 red balls and I picked 1, what is 3 minus 1 is going to be 2. So 2 plus 5 yellow, it makes 7. So it means on the second picking, to get a red ball, I must have 2 over 7. So that's why I've got 2 over 7 here. This is 2 over 7, which comes here now, okay? And then from there, but I might also have picked a yellow ball, but the yellow was not picked before, so it's going to be 5 over 7. So that's why it's going to be 5 over 7 like this. Okay, hope we are together. And then now on my second picking, it could be that I have what? I started with the yellow, I can pick a red ball anyway. So because I started with the yellow, the red did not decrease, so it's gonna be 3/7, because the red did not decrease before from this line. It's gonna be 3/7. So that's why I have the 3/7 here. And then what about the yellow ones? Because I picked one, what is 5 minus gonna be 4/7, okay? That's why it's 4/7. So this is 4/7 here. Okay. Now remember I was supposed to show probability tree diagram, so that's how we show the probability tree diagram. Okay, this is how we show the probability tree diagram, like this. Now I can be when I picked red and then red, that's why it is red here, or red first ball, then yellow, that's why it's red yellow here, or yellow red, that's why it is yellow red, or yellow and the yellow, that's why it is what here, it is yellow and yellow. Hope we are together, guys. Now don't forget that these events, they are independent. Okay, so what must we do? Determine probability that the player picks balls of a different color. Balls of what? Different color. So in that case, what does that mean to us? It means that we can pick red and then yellow, all yellow and then red. So we have red yellow and then yellow red. So what are we going to do in that case? It means that we are going to have this 3/8, okay, 3/8 here, then multiply it by, because we want different color, that's red then yellow, that's 5/what? 5/8. Okay, 5/8 here. Okay, so now times 5/8. Okay, after that, then I'm going to have, now I must have started with a yellow then red. That means 5/8. This was 5/7. 5/8. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. That's how that's yellow then red. What about red here? I have 3/7. Okay, so what do I do here? Now guys, what I'm doing here, I'm going to multiply. Okay, I'm going to multiply the 3/8 times the 5/7 and then plus 5/8 times 3/7 times 3/7. Okay, what do we get here? Who can help us? Now 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, 15. What about 8 times 7? What do you get? What's 8 times 7? Talk to me. 8 times 7 is 5/6. So divide by 5/6 here. By 5/6 here. Okay, and then plus what? And then plus this other one, which is again 3 times 5 is still 15. It's the same answer anyway. So 15/5/6. Okay, over 5/6. So when I add this one here, I'm going to get my final answer as what? As 30/5/6. Okay, so if I simplify by 2, I'm going to get 15 over what? 15 over 28, right? I'm going to get what? 15/28. I'm going to get 15/28. Okay, I'm going to get what? 15/28. over 28 over 28. So that's my answer for picking the two balls being of different colors as the question wanted. Hope we are still together. Hope we are still together. Okay. Now they say that the probability that South Africa reaches the finals of the 2019 Rugby World Cup is 0.35. Probability of New Zealand reaching is 0.5. Probability that neither South Africa nor New Zealand is reaching 0.06. Draw a Venn diagram to represent the information above, and then time probability that both South Africa and New Zealand reach the finals. So we have got the probability for South Africa, then New Zealand, and then for neither of the two. We want the Venn diagram and then the intersection. Okay, so this is what we do here. Now in this particular case, I'm going to say if this first one here, it is South Africa here. Okay, the intersection, I'm going to let it to be x. First of all, let it to be x because I don't know the intersection. So if this is my x here, and then this circle is for South Africa. Okay, this side is for New Zealand. Let me use A for New Zealand. Okay, that's the whole of this circles for New Zealand. Now they said that South Africa to win is gonna be what? They said 0, let's check it again. For South Africa to reach the finals, they said 0.35, ne? Yes. So now look here, guys, because this circle is South Africa, the whole of the circle with the 0.35, it means the balance here is going to be 0.35 minus x. That's why I put it here like this. 0.35 minus what? Minus x. 0.35 minus x is gonna come here. Okay. 0.35 minus x. So if I put it there, what about for New Zealand? They said 0.5, ne? So now the whole of this circle is for New Zealand. So it's gonna be here 0.5 minus x. So this is 0.5 minus x. I bring it here. Okay. 0.5 minus what? Minus x. Now they said probability that neither wins, neither reaches there, 0.06. That's what I have to put outside the brackets here, outside the two circles. Now, but what do I know? I know that total probability must be 1. Total what? Total probability must be equal to 1. In other words, if I add x plus 0.35 minus x plus 0.5 minus x plus 0.06, I must equate to 1. So that's how I get this equation here, guys. That's how I get this equation here. And when I solve for my x, 0.06 plus 0.35 plus 0.5, it gives 0.91. Then now, as you can see that this negative x cancel with this x here, ne? So I'm left with 0.9 minus this x equals to 1. So in other words, it means my x is going to be what? It's going to be 1. This x becomes positive, ne? Right? And then I'm going to have I'm going to have what? I'm going to have 1 minus what? 1 minus 0.91, which gives me what? Which gives me 1 minus 0.91. It gives me 0.09. 0.09. So my x is going to be 0, what? 0.09. Is it 0.09? Okay. All right. That's our probability for both of the countries reaching the finals. Okay. Hope we are still together. Hope we are still together. Hope we are still together. Yep, we are still together. Now the next part of the questions, you can try them out. If you find any challenges, you can feel free to find me here at Lost Ecology in Polokwane, here on 92 Schoolman, or you can call me on 0785 222 041. This one here, it is also part of the test. Okay, part of the test. Let me zoom it for you here. Now here they wanted length of SC, but because I was having this one and this one here, I used cosine rule. That's why I did like this with cosine rule to get my SC, which is B as 115.31 millimeters. And then here they wanted DC, this DC here, because I've got the opposite, the angle 22, and I have now the SC. I have to use 10. That's why I use 10.22 here to get my answer. Okay, so the rest you can finish it up. If you find any challenges, please inbox me, or you can come to our tuition center. And then also this part of your test as well, that's measurements, because they said they're asking all the term 3 tests. Okay, and then lastly this part of measurement as well. Surface area of the cone is the last part. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you again in my next video. My name once again is Patrick Kamala. I'm a tutor and educator for mathematics and physical sciences here at Lost College on 92 Schoolman, Polokwane. Bye bye.